Hello students, welcome to Python programming language online classes. Today I am going to explain about the reputation structures concept. In the last class also we have started about the Python reputation structures introduction part. From the continuation, in this session we will discuss from the continuation part. Okay, now let us start our session. Okay. What is reputation structure? Explain the types of reputation structures. Reputation structure means it allows the programmer to repeat a specified block of code until a given condition is met. Until a given condition is met. Reputation structure is nothing but what purpose we can use. Reputation structures are also called looping statements. Looping statements. It is also works similar like a decision structures. But decision structures are used for only comparing more than two values. If you want to compare more than two values, for that decision structures we have to use. But repetition structures, if you want to execute a block of code or a statement, a block of statements or a single statement, if you want to execute multiple times, according to our requirement, if you want to execute multiple times, in that situation we can use the repetition structures. Repetition structures. In this structure, the statements are executed more than one time. If you want to execute one time, repetition structure is not required. Looping syntax is not required. But more than one time, for example, if you want to execute a block of code 100 times, for that 100 lines of code, no need to write. To avoid that burden, repetition structures are introduced. There are two types of repetition structures. What are they? First one is while loop and second one is for loop. First one is while loop and second one is for loop. Python does not have do while loop like other programming languages C and C++ and Java. In C language, in C++ language and in Java programming language also contain three types of loops. What are they? The first one is while loop. Second one is for loop. Third one is do while loop is also one more option there in other programming languages. But Python does not have do while loop. Because of that logic we have to implement. If we have requirement, that logic we have to write. That logic it can support. So that's why they given only two loops, while loop and for loop. Now one by one we will discuss right now. Explain the working of while loop. A while loop provides a mechanism for repeating Python statements while a condition is true. All of you carefully observe. Here I given one syntax while in between angular braces I given condition. So if this condition is true, then only the control will enter into a block. If this condition is false, it does not enter in the block. If the condition is true, whatever the statements we have written in this block, then that all statements will execute based on that given condition is true. If the condition is false, then the control will not enter inside the loop. So completely it is based on condition only. It will work. The while loop will work completely based on this condition. If this condition is true, then only the control will enter. Here I given flowchart also. All of you carefully observe. Here that condition, if it is true, then the loop body will execute. If this condition is false, then the control will not enter into the loop of body. After whatever the statements we have written, the control will comes the next statements. It completely depends on true or false condition. If the given condition is true, then only while loop body will execute. Otherwise, while loop body will not execute. I am writing one program for your understanding purpose. Here I given one multiplication table. So similar like that, I will execute. I will explain clearly by using practical way. For that notepad I am opening to write the code. If you want to execute our college name 10 times, Then print statements we have to write na. Degree and PG college. This is our college name. Now my requirement is I want to print our college name in 10 times. Then 10 times printf functions we need to write na. 10 times printf statements we need to write like this. So the interpreter will read first line, then this line will print as a output on the screen, and next line will read next line, whatever the statement we have written in between double quotes, that will represent on the screen. Like that 10 times it will read the print function, and inside whatever the string we have configured, that all strings it will represent on the screen like a output format. But how many times here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 times our requirement na. These 3 lines I am removing right now, and for I extra copy pasted. So 10 times are enough. So 10 times print function read by the interpreter. After that it will print the which is the string we have configured in between double quotes. That string it will represent on the screen. So it is a lot of burden by the interpreter. It is lot of burden for the interpreter. Here we have 10 times, but according to our real-time projects, we have 100 or 1000 times also we need to represent same string. So to avoid this type of burden, if you read line by line same string, then the time is also waste by the interpreter, and processor has also feeling burden. So to avoid this type of burden, loop statements are introduced. Loop statements are introduced. Now I am removing. For that I am writing one while loop. First I introduced one variable I is equal 1. It is the starting point. I mean one time. Next I am writing the while statement. While I less than or equal 10. So I is how much value? I is replaced with 1 while executing time. So 1 less than or equal 10. So 10 times from the starting point is 1, ending point is 10. So 1 to 10 times it will represent. 1 to 10 times it will iterate. I mean it will recycle. Here colon symbol is also must and should be required to declare the block like a decision structures. If you want to declare a block of code, compulsory one indentation space must and should be required. That's why I am giving one space here. After that one print function I am writing to print our college name. Degree and PG college. So this is our requirement. So next I plus plus. I is equal to I plus plus. So the first I initializing with one value na. After that here condition I have written. So I replace her with 1. I less than or equal 10. The condition is true na. I value less than or equal to 10. I value is 1 na. So 1 less than or equal to 10. So the condition is true. So then control will enter in this block. The print function will execute which is the string we have configured. That string it will execute. And next I is equal to I plus plus. So I value is what? 1 na. So I plus 1. I plus 1 means it becomes 2. I starting value is 1 and 1 value here incremented by 1 value. So the total value is assigned to I variable. So total value is what? 2 value. 2. So it will come to the while loop condition. Now I replace it with 2. So 2 less than or equal 10. So this condition is also true. Again print function will execute. Again next statement is also will incremented by 1. Like that 10 times it will iterate. If it will iterate 10th time is over, the I values becomes what? 11. So the condition again it will check. 11 less than or equal to 10. So the condition is false. 11, the 11 number is less than or equal to 10 now? No, 11 is the biggest value. Here the condition becomes false. Then the control will comes back to the out of the loop. Then again next statements will execute. So the program is over. Now we have to save that one. While dot py. Save as type is all files. Now I am saving on the desktop. Now I am saving on the desktop. For execution purpose, I am opening DOS command prompt and cd. Here the present directory is what? C. In C drive, users directory is there. In the users directory, Siva folder is there. So now I want to shift my location to desktop. For that, cd command. Cd is the change directory. Cd meaning is what? Change directory. Now I am changing the directory to desktop. So now my location is desktop. Actually, we have saved our file on desktop now. So that's why we are shifted. That's why we have shifted to desktop. Now I am executing directly the file name I am typing while.py. .py is the extension of Python programming language. While is the file name. Now I am pressing enter. So all of you look at the screen. 10 times it is representing the college name, same college name 10 times it is representing. So like this type of requirement if you have in your projects, this type of requirement if you have, then this syntax we can use. Here how many print functions we have used? Only one print function. Only one print function. But our requirement is what? 10 times. So that's why this 10 I have configured here. This is the starting point and this is the ending point. So starting point starts with 1. That's why I am initializing with 1. So I value replacer with 1. After that I less than or equal 10. So 10 times. First I value 1. I less than or equal to 10. The condition is true. I value is small now compared to 10. So that's why the condition is true. Whatever the line we have written here, that line syntactically it is correct. So I value is small compared to 10. So that's why the condition is true. Then this line, the control, the interpreter control will enter into the while loop block. This is block now. This statement, these two statements are available in this block, while block, because of here I given one space now. If you give the space, indentation space, then these two lines are belongs to while loop. If you want to declare a block of code, compulsory one indentation space must and should be required before the statements. So that's why here I given one space. Then only the interpreter can treat these two statements are belongs to while loop. If you remove this space, then this line is here I am removing one space now. Here I am removing space. Then this one line only belongs to while loop block, and this statement is not belongs to while block. Okay na? So compulsory we need to give space for this also, because of I value need to increment according to our requirement project na. So that's why. So 10 times it will repeating the structure. So that's why it is called repetition structures. First I value is 1, I less than or equal 10. The first cycle will start from here and print function will execute and the statement will print on the console. After that I value increment by 1 and I value becomes 2. I value becomes 2. Again the control will come back to the while loop condition. Here I value become 2 na. 2 less than or equal 10. This condition is also true. Again the cycle will start. Like that 10 times the cycle will repeat it. The cycle will repeat it 10 times. When I value becomes 11, the condition will check and the condition becomes false because of 11 less than or equal 10. So 11 value is bigger than to 10. So that's why it is becomes false. The control will comes outside of the while loop, and here if you have next line of statements, then these statements will execute. Like this while syntax it will work. Here I given multiplication table. For that you need to practice this program also. Similar like to C syntaxes are used here. %d, percentile d, these two are format specifiers and percentile. So n value is whatever the, I mean here I given multiplication table na, if you give the input, so that related multiplication table it will represent on the screen according to your program. Here I taken the 5 input, so fifth table it will represent. You need to practice line by line you need to see once again and you can understand everything because of you have already C language experience. So you already have now about the format specifiers. Percentile D and into percentile D, percentile here 3 percentile D format specifiers I use it, and here the first variable will take the place in first percentile D, and next I variable will take the place and second percentile specifier, and third variable this expression value n into I nothing but 1 into 5 equal to 5 na, that value store into percentile D. So how many iterations we have? 10 iterations. So that's why 10 lines it will represent on the console. So similar like to while loop condition it will execute. Same syntaxes you already used it in C language. Using is also same, but instead of comma here we are using percentile operator. If you want to use this style in Python programming language, in this place we need to use percentile operator. Then only it will execute. Don't give any comma like a C language. In this place, actually in C language in this place we have comma operator, but in Python language we have percentile operator. Now understand now about the while loop. All of you carefully observe. About the while loop, here I given one flowchart also. Same flowchart. I mean condition. If this condition is true, in this place the condition is true. What is the condition we have configured here? I less than or equal 10. Here in this place it is replaced with that condition I less than or equal 10. If this condition is true, then loop of the body will execute. If the condition is false, loop of body will not execute. The control will comes to the outside. Whatever the statements you have configured after that statements will execute. But this loop of body will execute based on the given condition. If it is true, then only this body of block will execute. Otherwise, it will not execute. So next, explain the working of for loop. So while loop completed. Next, one more looping statements also we have now. So what is that? Next, for loop. For loop is also similar like to while loop, but in real time, while loop handles small data sets. But for loop, compared to while loop, for loop handle large data sets. Nothing but for the small programs purpose, while loop is enough. If you have any large data sets, then for loop is better to use. In Python, for loop is used to repeat a group of statements a specified number of times. But in while loop, if you don't know the number of times execution, for that while loop is useful. For that, in such cases, while loop is useful. If you don't know how many times it is repeated, how many times it will repeat, you don't know that number. So in that time, while loop is useful. But if you know the value, for loop is the better statement. So, but both are same. That is the difference between while loop and for loop. If you know the repetition times number, iterations. So this type of, cycling process is there. So how many times? In the previous example, 10 iterations are going on. But the 10 number, if you know, then while loop is not useful. For loop is better for that. If you don't know the value, iteration value, how many times iterated you need, then in such cases, while loop is useful. But compared to for loop and while loop is handling only small data sets, for loop is handling large data sets. A for loop in Python is used to iterate over a sequence like list, tuples, string. Already in the previous classes we have discussed about the data structures. Sequences concept we have completed now. In that, how many concepts we have list concept is also there, tuple concept is also there, string concept is also there. So if you want to iterate these lists and tuples and strings, for that for loop is better to use. Iterating over a sequences like list, tuple and strings is called a traversal. Traversal means it is searching process. For example, all of you carefully observe here. Here I given one example. In the list I have stored five values, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5 values stored na. So if you want to pick only one value in that, so that searching process is called a traversal. Here iterative variable is the variable. All of you carefully observe. Here I given one syntax for iterative variable in sequence. Programmatically I am explained. For that I am opening one for loop. I is the iterative variable in list. So one colon symbol must and should be required. If you want to declare a block for loop, compulsory one indentation space must and should be required. One space must and should be required. Here I am writing the I plus I plus 1. I plus 1 not required here. If it is while loop, I plus 1 must and should be required. Now here we need for loop syntax. I is the iteration variable. I means in this place, if you want to use any other variable, you can happily use, no problem. Here I am explaining about the syntax. All of you carefully observe. In syntax, for loop is for keyword is there, no? In that iterative variable in sequence. Here one colon symbol must and should be required. After that, one indentation space. This is mandatory space to declare a block of code, to declare a block of statements. Now I am writing syntax. For loop, I is the iterative variable, in is the operator, and here list we can use. List or sequence, anything. SUQENC. Sequence contains number of sequence, list, tuple, strings, mappings, all those things. Here one colon symbol must and should be required to declare the block. After that, if you want to declare any block of code, one indentation space must and should be required here. Here statements we have to write. Statements. Like that, number of statements we have to write. After that, this is the syntax. All of you carefully observe. This is the syntax. Now, for your understanding purpose, I am writing one example through Notepad. This is called script mode. When you write our code, when you have to write our code in Notepad, then this is called script mode. So first, I am defining a list. In between square brackets, I am defining values 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. If you want to separate one value to other value, compulsory comma operator must and should be used. it. So now I want to print all the values. Now I want to print all the list values. For that, for loop I am using. Here I is the iterating variable. So in this list, this I variable will search 10, 20, 30, 40. It will search one by one. First it will read the 10 value. So then I value becomes 10. After that, after it will print the I value, again it will see the 20. The I value will search the next value. So I value becomes 20. Like this entire list searching the iteration, searching by the I variable. So I variable is iterating these all values one by one, one by one, one by one. So like that, I is the iterative variable. In this I place, if you want to declare any other variable also, we can use, no problem. So for your understanding purpose, I am given I value only, I variable here. So in I variable need to search in which concept? తర్వాత రావచ్చు కదా,
ఎప్పుడు పని అయిపోతే అప్పుడు పని కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయింది,
అది రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది. So I variable, I is the searching variable, iterating variable, but I variable in which list it is searching, in which list it need to search. So list variable na, so that's why in this list contain these many values. So in this list I want to search I variable, so that's why I am giving the intimation for the for loop. For is the loop, it is the keyword, and I is the iterating variable, but in which list it is searching? List here. So here one colon symbol must and should be required. After that, one indentation space we need to give, then only the statements belongs to for loop. Print I variable. So how many times it will represent? How many values we have? 10, 20, 30, 40, 55 elements we have. So 5 times it will iterate. So here I am not given any range. Directly list I configured here. So the entire list it will read, it will search, and one by one it will print. And now I am saving this one, for loop dot py, and save as type is all files. Now I am saving on the desktop. Again I am opening the command prompt. So already my location is in, so now I am clearing the DOS screen. Already we are in desktop. Our file is also available on the desktop. Now I am executing. So the file name is forloop.py. Now I am pressing the enter key. All of you carefully observe the entire list it will represent na 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So like this, for loop handling sequences of sets. Sequence contain how many types? How many types of sequences we have? There are 3 types of sequences basically: lists, tuples, and strings, all those things, and mapping, remaining also some extra sequences also we have, but these are the main concepts. So if you want to iterate in the sequences, compulsory for loop is better to use. For loop is better to use. మీకు ఏం ప్రాబ్లం లేదమ్మా, ఇక్కడ కొంచెం అర్థం చేసుకోండి. ఐ వేరియబుల్ ఉంది కదా, ఐ వేరియబుల్ అంటే ఇటరేటింగ్ వేరియబుల్. ఇక్కడ మనం దేంట్లో సెర్చ్ చేస్తున్నాం? లిస్ట్లో సెర్చ్ చేస్తున్నాం. So that's why this list variable I configured here. I variable is searching method. So I first it will read in this list. List contain how many values? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So first 10 value it will read by the I. 10 value it will read by the I variable. So I value becomes 10. So first the I value it will represent on the screen. First I value represent on the screen. After that again it will go and it will search the next element. The 20 it can read. Internally it can store. So I value becomes 20 again. So the 20 value it will represent on the screen. And like that, how many values we have? 5 elements we have. So that 5 elements it will represent on the screen. After that the control will come out for the for loop. Elements anni complete అయిపోయాక automatically the control will comes out for the for loop. So that is the process of for loop. Here I given same example. And next, if you want to generate a random number, if you want to generate a numbers automatically, for that range function they given, the Python software given range function, that is the built-in function. It is the right function to do count. It generates list of arithmetic progressions. If you, all of you carefully observe, we can use the range function in 3 ways. They are, first one, range function with 1 argument, range function with 2 arguments, range function with 3 arguments. Arguments are nothing but, along with range function, in these brackets we have to configure the parameters. Practically I already given here 3 examples for that. The first example is related to range function with 1 argument. The second function related to range function with 2 arguments. The third block is related to range function with 3 arguments. The range function generates the progression of integer numbers starting with 0 and ending with n minus 1. Ending with n minus 1. All of you carefully observe. How to generate the sequence of numbers by using range function? Just give the value in between range function brackets. In between range function brackets. So what is the functionality of range function? Here I given one example now. For I in range of 5, print I. So now I am printing first for I in range of 5. So this is range function with 1 argument. So one value here I pass in now. So this process is called range function with 1 argument. If you pass this value, it will represent the 4 values, but start with 0. If it starts with 0, last element is n minus 1. Nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 it will represent. Give one indentation space. Sorry, here one colon symbol. After that one indentation space, one print function. I value I configured. I am saving or with 1 or with range with 1 dot py. Shortly I saved it on the desktop. Again I am opening or with 1. Okay. So all of you carefully observe. If I configure, if I pass one parameter, which is the parameter I have passed? First one, 5th value I passed. So nothing but 5 elements that need to represent on the console. Here 5 values representing, but starting value 0, ending value 4. So 0 means 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 elements it will representing. It is generating the count na sequence numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So range function with 2 arguments means the range function can also be called with 2 arguments. This function call produces the list of numbers starting with begin and ending with last number, exclusive. But all of you carefully observe. Same thing. Starting with 1. Here I passed 2 arguments. 2 arguments means 2 values I need to pass here in this brackets along with range function. So the starting point is 1. In previously the starting point is what? We have not mentioned. So that's why by default it will take 0th index. So starts with 0 ending with n minus 1. So that's why in the previous output shown like this 0 to 4. The 5 elements reached here, but starting with 0 ending with 4. But 5 elements completed. But in case of starts with 0, the ending is 4th, 4 elements. So like that, now I don't want to start with 0th. I want to start with first index. And 5th value is also need to read. So like that, if you want a 5th element, compulsory here we need to pass 6 because of last value has excluded. In the output while reading time, while interpreter reading time, the last value should be excluded by the interpreter, but starting value compulsory included. All of you carefully observe. Now I am executing this same program, range with 1. Sorry, here I need to save other name na. Range with 2 dot py. All files. Same file I am saving on the desktop. So or with 2 dot py. Now I am pressing enter. All of you carefully observe. Starting point is included. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I configured word 6. So that's why last value has included by the interpreter. So that is the syntax rule. So that's why I started with 1 and ending with 5 number. 6 minus 1. So n minus 1 concept. So 6 means n minus 1. Here that's why it has represented only 5th number. 5 number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last value has excluded by the interpreter, but first value included. So that's why starting value included. And next one, range function with 3 arguments. We can also specify a different increment with a third argument is called step. Third argument with step. Step is what actually we can also specify a different increment with a third argument is called step. It can be negative and positive but not 0. It can be negative and positive but not 0. This step value may be negative or positive, but it should be a number, non-zero, compulsory. The first and second argument similar to work like a range function with the 2 arguments. Here, actually range function with 3 arguments. First is the starting value and second is the ending value. And third variable, step variable is different. That is incremented value. Here incrementing how many values? 1, 2, 3, 4. And that means the incrementing only with one value. 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1, 5. Like that, it is incrementing by only 1. But now I don't want to increment by 1. I want only increment by 3 or 4. So for that, here I need to pass 2. I need to pass 2. Now I am saving again 3.py. Save as type is all files. Now I am saving. So all of you carefully observe. Here the incrementing with 2 so 1 increment with 2, 3, 3 increment with 2, 5. So this is the output. Like this range function we have to use in the along with for loop iterations. Along with for loop iterations. Don't confuse by reading this entire table. Just we can read the line by line, then see the program and see the output, what it is going on behind. If you don't understand, again one more time you need to listen. Then only you can understand clearly about this range function. Range function is range function with 1 argument, range function with 2 arguments, range function with 3 arguments. These 3 concepts are completely depends on passed on the arguments. Range function with 1 argument means here only one value we need to pass. And starting value it can decide internally, that is by default 0. And next range function with 2 arguments. Here we own explicitly we need to declare the starting point. 0th index we don't want. So that's why we need to pass the starting index here. And ending index is like this. So last value has included. In this also the first function is also last value excluded. And second function is also last value excluded. So like that n-1 operation is going on here. And range function with 3 arguments also, starting point and ending point. After that how many values need to by increment with that value. So that is decided by the programmer, and this value completely depends on by the programmer. If you give the 4, then it will increment by the 4. If you give the 6, it will increment by the 6. Like that it will represent on the screen. But if you give the -1 value, if you give the -1 value and starting point is, it can reverse process also, it will represent on the screen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But this entire process, 6 is need to give the first point and 1 is give the second point and -1 is give the last point. If you give the -1, the reverse process it will print on the screen. Elements will reverse by the interpreter like this. Okay. Now in this session, looping statements, iterative repetition structures, iterative statements, looping statements, all those things are called same name with the same name. So this concept is over in this session. I hope you enjoyed this session. Just carefully observe and listen, then you can understand. Otherwise you cannot understand about this concept. So thank you. Now today I am closing this session. Thank you very much.